broader categories, but you can see what the big four are. Number one is construction. Number one is construction. That's been the biggest job generator over the last year. The housing sector has really come back nicely in South Carolina, and particularly in Charleston. And we can see that. We can see that in terms of employment gains. Now the finance sector here, which is also up, we can kind of combine that into construction because for these numbers, because for the last year, most of the jobs coming from the financial sector in South Carolina have been those that have explicitly supported the housing sector. Jobs that are associated with buying and selling real estate, and insurance, and other related activities. Of course, there's more to finance than that, but over the last year, we've seen a disproportionate amount of this growth in finance coming from subsectors that explicitly are linked to housing and construction. So that's been one big area. The other big area has been leisure and hospitality and retail trade, and this reflects more consumer spending, which Stephen talked about at the national level. So consumers are more confident in South Carolina, they're more willing to spend their disposable income, and they have more disposable income. And both are positive, because if you have more income, that means you're more likely to be working, earning higher wages, and if you have the same amount of income and you're spending it, it means you're more confident, you're not as worried about being laid off. So both are very positive things. Now, if we delve a little bit more into construction, where's the growth in construction coming from in South Carolina? Where exactly are we seeing it? Is it new? Is it resale? Is it both? What's going on? Well, I want to draw your attention here to the top line, the blue line there, and then also the lighter blue line where we see the major increases. And you can see it jumps up steadily, whereas orange and blue are more or less constant. So the major growth has come from this lighter blue line, which it turns out refers to subcontractors. The blue line at the top that's been fairly flat refers more to the construction of buildings. So the dark blue line represents builders, whereas the light blue line represents subcontractors. So you can see that by employment, when you think about builders, we haven't seen much of an increase at all. Most of the increases come among subcontractors. So what does that mean? What's going on? Does that mean there's no new construction? Well, of course not. What I think it means is that there's an excess capacity still right now in the housing market in South Carolina. And that means that as demand comes back, right now, existing builders are seeing additional demand, and they're going out and they're hiring these subcontractors to actually satisfy that demand. But so far, there hasn't been enough of an increase in demand to really start seeing new builders enter the marketplace. And I think that's reflected in these charts. Now, of course, in addition to new construction, we also see a lot of remodeling. So we see increases in subcontractor work from that aspect as well. But a combination of the two, I think, is why you're seeing this dramatic increase in subcontractors, but not in overall builder employment, so to speak, in 2013.